He's got something on tonight, so he says he would try and catch up in the chat at some point during the night. But how is everybody this evening anyway?
I'm all right.
Doing good. Hello. How you guys doing?
I know. I was just saying to Chris before you come on, John, it's like I kind of regret doing this now because I didn't realise how much Halo figures I actually had. It was like I had a big box, but the box didn't look that bad until you open up and then you start picking bits and pieces out, and it's like, oh, great. And it doesn't help that I've got quite a few of the Mega Block stuff as well. I've got a lot of blocks figures. I've got a couple of vehicles. I'll try and show them off at some point during the night. Just once I kind of make some room here.
I've only got the new 4-inch stuff, what they're calling Halo World scale, whatever that is. So, but I've been loving them. Mostly getting them when they go on sale. But they're still even if you don't get them when they're on sale, I think they're a very reasonable line to collect.
Yeah, I've only just started getting into the line, so I'm just finding they're quite cheap as well for the line that you do, for going into the line. Like the sets
inexpensive. Yeah,
I think I ordered a set yesterday, and it's only cost me like 12 quid. So,
well, definitely, man. I've got the Mongoose and I've got the Ghost, and I've got both of them out of B&M's, Chris.
I'm going to have a look in B&M tomorrow, see if they've got anything.
They had them in for like 12 quid, so. And then Asda's and that are now starting to sell them, and they're starting to appear majority everywhere nowadays.
Mikey in Houston's here. Hey, Mikey. Al Tedna, how you doing?
Evening, Mikey. El Tinder. He was on last week. Need to get him back.
Rolando's here.
Hey, Orlando.
Hello.
Oh, look, Peaky Arrow's here. Look at that.
Oh, who's that?
He's in the chat. Look at that. So I was watching the you pulled me away from Warwick Davis, which is hard to do because I love Warwick Davis, and he's on right now on the Celebration live stage talking about Willow, and that Willow trailer looked awesome. Did you see it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
I haven't seen the Willow trailer yet, and I haven't done the Andor trailer yet. Seen the Andor trailer.
The Andor trailer. I've seen the Andor trailer.
Andor looks great too. I'm excited. I'm excited.
After this live stream, I'm gonna go and record 2 trailer reactions for Willow and Andor anyway. So
yeah. Well, you'll get your fresh reaction. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Oh, Willow, man, that brings back a lot of childhood memories, man. I love that movie.
Yeah.
I still do, man.
Yeah.
I've seen Willow, so I'm quite excited for this. It's a show, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a series on Disney Plus, and they got a lot of the same actors. When you're going through the trailer, you're like, "Oh my gosh, it's the same people!" Like the same people that went on the adventure the first time are going on the adventure again. But they also don't give away certain actors. Like I fully expect to see Val Kilmer at some point, but he's not in the trailer. So I think they're keeping the Val Kilmer thing a secret. You know what I mean?
Possibly.
Or it'll be revealed later on as a big reveal, but they won't. They're keeping some stuff back, so we're surprised,
That's the thing, is doing the Willow series, you just wonder if there's going to be new Willow merchandise coming out.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
this
Willow.
This also, though, it also explains why the Willow toys have suddenly shot up, like where the old vintage Willow toys are thousands of dollars now, and they're not even really action figures. They're just little like stands. But yeah, so it really explains why everything's jumping,
It's like they're trying to reboot between rebooting and remaking or adding on stories for previous movies. Because there was a few years ago they were talking about the Goonies, and it was like, that's one movie I don't want them to reboot or
do you know what, with the Goonies, I don't think a TV show or a movie would work.
No, not with the Goonies.
Goonies. The Goonies is kind of a one and done film. Like,
yeah.
Because how would they follow that up? Like, because the story was that they found One Eye Willie's treasure map, and like, so how would they be able to follow that up?
The only thing that's I think someone would do these days is they would try to get a couple of the actors back. Like, that Sean Astin would come back. The guy who played Data, he's now back in the spotlight, so he would come back.
Yeah, who's the
so
one?
They would get a couple people to come back, but what they would do is they would have them living in Astoria like they never left, and now their kids have to go on an adventure. So they would be the parents now because they're all old, and they would probably tell their kids about when they were kids and how they had the Goonies. And then like something would happen that threatens the town in a similar situation. And the kids would have to be like, oh, just like our parents, we have to form the Goonies. And they would, now we're the Goonies, guys. We're the Goonies. It's now our time. It was their time back then, but now it's our time. And they would go on an adventure and save the town themselves. You know what I mean?
I don't think it would work.
It would feel forced. It wouldn't be natural. Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if you two have seen, but it came up on my Facebook this morning. Someone's making a Winnie the Pooh horror film.
No, I
because it's now entered public domain, so it's no longer owned by Disney.
Huh.
So like people anyone can make a Winnie the Pooh film or a Winnie the Pooh TV show now, and it's not tied to Disney. And there's like a Winnie the Pooh horror film being made, and like they showed a couple of stills from the film, and like it just looks like a guy in a bear costume. It just looks ridiculous. I'm just like, I kind of need a trailer to come out so I can see it.
Is that really still true with the public domain stuff?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't Superman and Batman now be public domain because they've been around for like almost 100 years?
It depends on so Disney never renewed the Winnie the Pooh licensing from the family of the creator.
Oh.
So it all depends on the distributor. So like DC, for example, they're never gonna not renew the contract for Superman and Batman because they're iconic and they sell.
So if the family or the estate of the family doesn't agree to it, then it enters public domain?
Then it can enter public domain, yeah.
Well, then wouldn't the Siegel family like eventually just say we don't want DC to have in? You know what I mean? Like they're still in control of.
To be honest, though, I doubt they would say that because DC probably pay them a lot of money. Let's be honest. DC probably fork over millions for the Batman and Superman stuff.
Yeah.
It's like if they're going to do like the Winnie the Pooh horror, man, that's going to be like one weird.
Yeah.
It's like
I think so. It's going to be called Winnie the Pooh Mud and Blood.
Oh.
Like the thing the piglet as well in it just looks like a full-grown pig mask. Like it's an adult pig mask on just on somebody. It just doesn't look like that. It looks like a cheesy B movie type thing.
Yeah,
like a 90s horror film. But I'm intrigued to see what it's going to be like.
You says that it's kind of your brain starts like thinking. It's like what's from a Trigger going to look like?
What's Tigger going to look like?
What's
like,
Eeyore and that's going to look like? What's Owl going to look like? And what's
it's ridiculous. So it's kind of piqued my. I'm waiting for a trailer to be released so I can see for myself.
I could just see Pooh going
is-
a bit well. It's meant to be a Jarry Honey, but it could be like a
Jarry
Jarry Blood or a Jarry Blood or something.
Is Pooh gonna go around murdering like Eeyore and Owly and the rabbit and like is he killing those guys off, or is a whole gang going around a normal human town and killing off all the humans? Like I want to. That's what I want to know.
Yeah, so one of the images is like there's a house full of people, and like on one of the windows, it's written in blood, "Get out." It's like this is going to be it's going to be a 90s like horror film type thing, but it's going to be one of the ones where like you're going to put on late at night because you can't sleep, and then you end up watching the whole thing. I did that with Sharknado. I couldn't sleep one night, and so I just put Sharknado on, thinking I'm going to fall asleep to this. Sat through the first 3 films of it. I was like, 4 o'clock in the morning. What am I still doing up watching a film about shark tornadoes?
Thousandth Ghost says Winnie the Pooh and them are killing the friends of Christopher Robin because he abandoned them and went to college.
That'd be interesting.
Mikey's got a good take. Blood and honey.
Blood and honey.
Yeah.
It's like, man, Ian's went put up. Is on a serious note, one reboot I hope happens is a Highlander with Henry.
I don't know how I feel with that. I don't know how I feel about a Highlander reboot. I'm a big fan of the first movie. Yeah.
But by the time you get to the TV show, it has so far lost its, because like the whole idea was, he got to where there was just one and he won it. So it's like, it was always a question of like, how can you have more of them? And then by the time you get to the television series, it's like, you got a gang of Highlanders that are either related to each other or they're friends, like really good friends. And it's kind of like, and I guess the TV show sort of takes place before the movie or something. I don't know. But it makes me start thinking like, so does that mean at some point you as the main good guy of this show went on a rampage and hunted down all your relatives and chopped their heads off, and then went around to all your friends' houses and chopped their heads off? You know what I mean? Like, it would just be like me and you guys like being like, okay, here's the day. Only one of us can be the one. Baz, Peaky, we gotta like fight it out. I'm chopping your heads off. We've been friends for years, but here you go, clock. Like I don't get that.
Like, I can't remember because I haven't seen the second one in a long time. But doesn't Sean Connery's character come back in the second one?
Yeah, but I think he's more like a vision. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi coming back as a Force ghost. I don't think he's technically really alive. I think it was some kind of weird vision through the Highlander power. And there's also 2 different versions of the second movie, because when they released it to theaters, they had this whole thing about them on an alien planet and they were refugees or something. And they're technically all aliens, which is why they have the power. And they're they have to get down to where there's only one alien left alive. And then that alien can get all the knowledge of the universe, and he helps mankind like solve all of its ecological problems, and like money goes away, and it's like it turns it into utopia on Earth because of his knowledge.
Which is the one that's set in the future? Is that the second or the third one?
Well, then what they do is I think they because everyone reacted negatively to them being aliens. So when it came out on DVD and Blu-ray and all that, they re-edited the film to get rid of. So there's 2 different versions of the second movie. So they got rid of all the alien crap and made it just that they were, and it does go, I think, to the future in the third one, the second one. And then the third one was a little bit legit, because what they did is they tried to explain it like someone in China or Japan or I don't know, Korea, whatever, they find a long lost tomb, and they open up the tomb, and I don't remember how, but somehow they bring the emperor back to life that was in the tomb. And the emperor turned out to be one of the Highlanders, one of those people that had the power. So when he comes back to life, like he gets resurrected somehow. I don't remember if they like stab him with an iron rod and a lightning bolt hits him or what, but because the only way to truly kill them is to chop their head off.
Yeah.
He was basically in a state of suspended animation in this tomb. So he comes back to life, and then when he comes back to life, the Highlander from the first movie feels it. He's like, whoa, like the quickening shocks him or something. And he's like, what the hell happened? Like something. And he has to go and hunt down the guy who came back to life.
So, John, he's confusing one of the Mummy sequels with the Highlander sequel.
No, seriously, he had to fight the guy who came back to life. He did. And it basically is the same as the third Mummy movie, yes. Yeah, the third Mummy movie and the third Highlander movie have the same plot. You're right. That's funny.
But the main thing is tonight is, as I was talking a few weeks ago, I showed bits and pieces of my Halo stuff, and folk were talking about like the 6 inches or 6-inch vehicles and that. Fortunately, I don't have the Warthog, but I would love to have that. But it's like £200-300 for the original.
Wow.
For the original one, but I know you have a few bits and pieces, John, as well for Halo.
Well, I got the new stuff, so I've got the new Warthog here.
Just give me 1 minute. There's one item I actually forgot to.
Which is basically like 3 3/4, 4-inch figures.
Mm.
And I love these. I think this is brilliant. I love the way the gun turret is up in here, and it's got a couple of articulation points in here, and the way the figure stands on it and shoots, and it's all on a swivel, so that if I can get it here, if I can get my hands on it, but it's all on a swivel, so the character swivels on the base with the gun, which I think is really cool.
I hope they actually do weapon packs for the Warthog, because McFarlane did that for the 6-inch version. I've got a couple of the packs that I'll show in a little bit.
Well, I've seen weapon packs for the characters, and they actually have a bunker, like an ammo depot bunker toy for the characters, where you get like all this ammo stuff and all these weapon crates. So I mean, they've done it already for the figures, and to build like a base, like a home base kind of thing. So I hope they eventually do it for this, because this gun, this whole turret can just twist and pop out. So you could twist and put in a whole different turret if you wanted to. But I love how like the characters, like his hand can go right on the center control. It fits on the steering wheel just fine. The way he sits in the vehicle looks great, and
really?
Yeah, I mean, they really fit in there nice. They designed these toys just fantastic, and the wheels are chunky. They're kind of a hard rubber, so they're really nice. There's like gas cans and details, antennas and everything. They just really look like, I mean, look at this. You got these hooked claws on the front for towing stuff. There's a tow cable. I mean, it's just, they really went all out and made these things look great. And they're my favorite scale, 3.75-inch type scale. And the figures, I mean, there's Halo armored troops for every color, and like, they just look great in my opinion, and so you can build an army of your own Spartan squad, in a sense, to go with Master Chief and be out there doing their thing. And you've got driver figures with different helmets, you know.
Oh, I like that one. I've always liked that helmet. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, this one's a pilot for one of the vehicles. So, but he's got a dagger on his chest here that you can pull out and use. You know, so they've got all kinds of accessories and things. And then there's vehicles and stuff for the aliens. Like here's one of their hover pods, and it's got to sort of display it. It's got the energy ribbons that sort of give it its, you know, give it its like because they're anti-gravity on the alien side. But
I want to do the brute cycle as well because I mean that's kind of one of my favorite vehicles is the brute cycle.
But I mean, like the way they're articulated, you can totally get the feet on the pedals down here, the hands on the controls, which works. His head's looking over the top. These guys have movable jaws, even. They're like the aliens do. So, like, you can even
see, I
move his mouth, which is cool.
That guy seems to fit on that better than the elite that actually comes with that.
Yeah, the one that comes with it is this big orange guy. But he's too big. He doesn't fit as well. So I put the little blue one on because it looks like he looks like a speeder guy with that mohawk. And he's all like, you know, it just looks like he's having fun, you know. And whereas this guy looks like a badass trooper with all the armor and everything. So I gave him the guns and the sword, and he's running on the battlefield. And they all come with these nice stands. The figures do. And the stands actually can lock together.
Yeah, I noticed that the other night there when I was messing about, and I was like, oh, I need to get more.
There's grooves and stuff where they slide together, so that's cool. And you've also got the big brutes that if you've been watching the show, he fought one of these brutes in the show. Oh, and so you got the big guys are in it as well. So I mean there's all kinds of different characters you can get in the set, and they're all to scale with each other for the 3.75 to 4-inch scale, and they're brilliant. They're really nice articulation, really great sculpts and armor and everything, and like these, and they have helmets and stuff that come off, you know, so like this whole helmet can come off, and it's just great weapons and everything too with clear plastic on it and everything. And so I mean I liked them, and then after watching the show I kind of liked it even more, you know. And then the last piece that I've got, which I did a video on my channel, is the big walker from one of the games. And this thing is just
called a mantis.
Yeah, the mantis, and it's fully articulated arms. And
I need to find one of those, John.
You know, these rotate. They're articulated arms in a couple different spots. So, and like this, and it has a cockpit, so the characters can go in and sit in that seat, and then they fit in there just fine. It closes right up. There's actually pegs on the top, so characters can stand on it if you want. You know, you can have them doing that fun pose where they're like standing on their vehicle or whatever, you know, and do some cool stuff with that. And the legs are fully articulated as well. They have a couple different joints in the legs and on the knees, and then the feet themselves have joints and everything, and they rock and move so that you can really get this thing to stand in some pretty cool and dynamic poses. And I'm a big fan of mechs and walkers, you know, and so this is right up my alley. You know, it's like
talking about mechs. I'm sure it could be you. I think I watched a YouTube video, and I'm sure is it Joy Toys or Joy Toys? They're doing
the Joy Toy, yeah.
Where
did that go, by the way? I
really want one of those.
I put it somewhere, but yeah.
I really want one of those, man. They look so cool.
Oh, they are. They're great, yeah. And all of them have these pegs on their back so that you can actually put the weapons and gear onto them in different spots.
It's like they've kind of done that with like the original, like the McFarlanes, because the McFarlanes you can put the guns in that on their back as well.
Let's see some of yours. Let's check them because that's about all I got for mine right now. I've got a 4-wheeler, like a little the Mongoose. Is that what it's called? I've got that on order because they put that up on Amazon for half price. So I ordered one of those. And
Yeah, talking about the Mongoose, John.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah. They just marked it down to half price on Amazon, so I had to get it. Yeah.
Well, that's like B&M's. B&M's has got these for $12.99.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. $12, $13 and you can get it. And a guy can stand on the back of that too, right? Isn't there like a little peg spot?
I think the Elite is just too big for that.
Yeah. He still looks pretty good on it. Like even because of how articulated they are, they can fit, you know. But yeah, I just like the blue guy on it better, I think.
And then talking about, like, I've also got this one that I've had this for a few years.
Wow.
I need to really open this guy up. And
that's cool. What scale is he? What size is he?
He's 6
He's
inch.
more like a 6-inch one? Okay, yep. Wow.
I'll get rid of the stuff that's in the box, so I've actually got room, but then I've also got the Didac as well.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And if you compare it,
that's a Forerunner.
So he's in quite deal with the.
He almost looks like the Guyver. The Japanese anime. Yeah.
And
Master Chief. That's a 6-inch Master Chief, right?
Just about, aye. Because there's like 2 different scales to the ones.
Is there? Okay. Oh, that's cool, yeah.
And talking about like the guy that I've just showed off, it's in the box. They also done like.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah. Oh, and their helmets come off too. Cool. Wow.
And then we've got our favorite little guy.
Yeah, I want to get one of those little guys. I saw they have those in the 4-inch scale as well.
Oh, the grunts.
Yeah, so I got to get one of those.
I really should have had this a bit more. And then I've got different variations of like Master Chief as well.
Oh, there's a million of them, yeah.
So you got that one. But the one I really like is this is like more old school Master Chief style.
Oh, there you go, yeah. From the first game almost, right?
So talking about like different scales, John, is that these are like the newer ones, but like the first ones were kind of smaller as well.
Oh yeah.
So I've got a few that's in like that are kind of smaller than the others. But Spartans, I've got quite a few different variations of the Spartans. There's like, you can say that, I mean, that's a repainted Master Chief.
Yep.
And then, as we were talking a couple of weeks ago, it's like with some of these the new Halo stuff, you've got majority of them come with a Master Chief in some of the packs.
Do.
Before you know, you're going to have like 16, but
yeah,
I have a few different Master Chiefs as well, in different scales.
But they do make them like different, like they'll beat up the armor or they'll do different paint apps on it to make them slightly different. So you're not always really getting the same exact figure, you know.
And I believe was this Captain? Is it Lasky? Is this Lasky, Chris?
Oh,
Yeah, it's too young to be Keys. So yeah, it's Lasky.
And then we've got like Buck as a Spartan.
Oh yeah.
That's from Halo 5.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen a Cortana in
I say Guilty Spark and a Sentinel.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's got like the red eye as well. It's got the blue eye.
So you can so the blue eyes when the Guilty Spark was good, and then the red eye is when it turned on you at the end of 3.
Mm. And then talking about like the new, I had to pick up the Brute.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I need to get that guy. Yeah.
But it's like when you compare that, so here's like the older, I mean, they're still roughly in scale.
Yeah, almost. They could almost work. Yeah.
And then when you look at the head sculpts, you can see how they've slightly changed it.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of wondering like how the TV show would show them in the TV show. You didn't get to see them a lot. Like you saw the ruling class with their faces, but not a lot of the army ones. Oh, there's a Cortana. That's cool.
What did you think of the show, John?
I thought the show was a good opener to the mythology, you know what I mean? But but as someone who's at least a little bit aware, I didn't play all the games. I don't know the whole story. But the little bit that I do know, it was kind of like this is a weird place to start. Because I kind of feel like he's already rebelled against the company and like it's just like it's just almost like why didn't they just start the show with them in a bunch of battles and doing more like stuff in the first video game, I guess, because I don't remember that him rebelling and going against the company and stuff in the first game.
The only time Chief went against the UNSC was in 5.
Yeah, so it's way down the road compared to where the TV show is. Yeah. So cuz I liked the intro. Well, like the very first episode where they show the townsfolk and everyone's getting around, and then all of a sudden the kids run into the aliens and half the kids get blown away right away.
Yeah.
You're like, holy crap, they're blowing away children. And then when they get into the town, like suddenly you see the freaking drop ship come over and Master Chief jumps down. He does his Captain America landing, the superhero landing, on his knees and whips out the gun. And it's like, I'm just like, oh yeah, what a freaking intro to Master Chief. That was freaking awesome. Yeah. And I wanted to see a battle like that every episode. I was like, give me a freaking battle between the Spartans and the aliens. Like every episode, I want a freaking battle to go nuts on, you know? And when they didn't do it again, the next battle was like 5 episodes later. And you're going, what the hell? Like, this is an action video game where you're running around blowing shit up. And the TV show, no one's running around blowing shit up. Like, what's going on? You know? Yeah,
I mean, I kind of liked that though. Like, I'm glad they didn't do a direct copy of the games.
No, that too. I am. Yeah.
I literally like. So when I watched the last episode Sunday. As soon as I watched the episode, I've done a review on season 1 on my channel, and I said in the review like if they used some game lore, it would have been cool. But I'm glad they had an original idea for the show and that they used an original idea. Some people hate that and they hated seeing him without the suit on all the time. But it showed a bit of humanity into the Spartans, not seeing them in their suit all the time.
Yeah.
You know, just because they were genetically made into Spartans doesn't make them any less human. And I think that's what the point they were trying to get across.
Yeah. But I do think Jonathan's got a point there. Like there need to be more battles, at least a couple more. Come on.
I mean, so to be honest, like if if you read the books, which the books I think are connected to the games, you read a lot of the politics in the books. So that's where that kind of comes from. Like the politics is in the books. You get to see some politics in the games as well, but not a massive amount. But yeah, no, like I loved season. I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah, I want to see where they go with it. It was definitely a show that I was compelled to watch the next episode every single time.
Yeah,
As soon as I got home on Wednesdays or Thursdays, whatever day it popped up, I was putting it on. So it wasn't like it was something I was excited to get home from work and watch when I got home. So it kept me hooked the whole time. So it did its job. And I hope the next season it just has a few more battles. I hope they get a bigger budget and they can actually do, because like really realistically, it's like now that you got this background out of the way, the war between the aliens and the humans should start to pick up, because there's got to be an escalation.
Yeah, because they now have. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil the show for people who haven't finished seeing it yet. But like I can't wait for season 2, and like you said, hopefully they now have a bigger budget.
Yeah,
because but like I'm just kind of like, because I was a bit far behind because I didn't watch it as soon as it started coming out. I was about 4 episodes behind.
Okay, so you got
I then got COVID, so I had to sit in my room for a week. So I was just thought, do you know what? I got 4 episodes of Halo to watch. I'll watch them now. I was like, I need episode 5 to come out. I was like,
yeah.
What's happening? But that's a great question, Ian. Maybe a Gears of War. I think Gears of War would probably work better as a series than films.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I actually think that as films go, most of the time the video games have, well, to be quite frank, I don't think Hollywood treats video game films. They're still currently treating video game films the way that they were treating comic book films, say 20 odd years ago.
Yeah.
Before like Nolan's Batman, even before, I mean, arguably the 2 best superhero films were the 79 Superman and the 89 was it, or 78? What was Superman? 78, something like that. And then the 89 Batman. Yeah. Those were the first 2 films to sort of take the characters serious. But every other project, they just didn't care about the comic book films. And that's kind of how I felt like they were doing with video games. Like that Gamer one, the Doom, when Doom came out, like they were all terrible films and they just didn't care. They didn't want to they didn't bother even looking at the video game, I don't think. You know what I mean? They had no clue what the lore was or anything. And I really think the first really good video game film, because even the old Tomb Raider films with Angelina Jolie, they were kind of decent movies on their own, but they really weren't Tomb Raider films. You know what I mean?
They were good for the time they came out.
But this new Tomb Raider, I thought with what's her name there? I thought she was brilliant as Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
I thought it fit the modern games like so perfectly. Yeah. Even a couple scenes were almost shot by shot from something that happened in one of the games. So, I mean, you really had that feeling like they actually played the games, knew what was going on, and it was great. But I think the problem is there's too much in there to do in a 2-hour movie. Like now that I've seen Halo as a series, I'm like, imagine how awesome Tomb Raider would have been if it was a series. If we had gotten 3 or 4 hours to play with instead of just 2 hours, that would have been so much better. And the same with Uncharted. Like, I think it's a mistake that Uncharted came out as a movie, because Uncharted was okay. They're sort of doing a prequel. They're doing a prequel where they're introducing the characters more. it's almost like they took elements of the fourth video game and made it into the first movie, along with some new story that they could flesh it out with. And then instead of going like from where the first video game took off, you know what I mean? So because I think they want to build a franchise. So they kind of want the films to come out in order and the actors to age with the characters over time. But after seeing Halo again, I think it was a mistake to do it as a film franchise. I think that I think Uncharted would have been great as a series. And
I haven't seen Uncharted just yet. But yeah, no, like Gears of War would make a good series for sure, just because, especially how the games are for Gears of War, like they're done in acts, like they're not chapters or like they're done in acts, and each act has like I think 6 parts. You could easily make like it'll be a multi-series thing, but you could have a series on. You could have like a mini-series for each act.
Yeah.
Or maybe do what like the Flash and everything do that now, where they have like a mid-season finale and then they like take a break and then they come back in the new year type thing. You could even do that. So like the mid-season finale for like Gears of War would be the end of Act 3.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the season after a break would be the last 3 acts of like Gears 1.
Yeah, and
Gears of War series, man. It's one of those between Halo and Gears of War are probably the 2 favorite games. But I would love to see Gears of War in live action just to see what they could do with it.
It's like, but then it'd be trying to find the perfect casting. Like people keep saying, like Dave Bautista to play Marcus Phoenix. I don't see him as Marcus Phoenix. I just don't see him as Marcus. I just don't see him as him. Yeah, you need someone bigger built, but also short. So you need someone short and stocky to play Marcus, because he's not that tall. He is quite short and stocky if you think about it. Like, so you need, I
think when you're playing the game kind of thing is that when you see the characters look like they're all buffed up. Like
they're not massive. They only look buffed up because they've got all of that armor on. Like they have a massive like vest of armor on. So
Then when you look at their feet, it's like their feet are like double the size what it should be. But that's
because they got the big ass boot things on. Yeah, armored boots or whatever. Yeah. I actually think that like there's a lot of potential in video games. I think to do like we're saying like with Halo, Gears of War, but I also think like. Take some of the stuff from Blizzard. Like you could do an incredible Warcraft series, orcs versus humans.
You could talk about that Warcraft movie.
No, that movie was pathetic. Yeah, it's like, but
I went to the theaters to see that.
Yeah,
I walked out after 10 minutes.
You're like, what the hell is this? Yeah, and but as a series, like done now, like it would be awesome. Or what about Diablo? I mean, just think about all the lore in Diablo that you could actually do, and you could make a freaking scary ass monster series with Diablo,
with Diablo and like World of WoW, like even League of Legends.
Yeah, League of Legends. You're right.
The amount of lore that is in those. You could make a series based on that lore and tie it to the games.
Yeah, so, like, not even have to follow a game story. You're right. Yeah.
No, it could be something set way in the past in Diablo, but it relates to the current game.
Yeah, and StarCraft. I mean, think about StarCraft with the Marines versus the aliens. I mean, that's right up everyone's alley. It's totally like Alien 2, Aliens, the film. The colonial Marines versus this horde of aliens. I mean, think about how awesome a series you could do with that. Just all these freaking blurg and everything coming at you. You're like, no.
So Ian's just brought an interesting thing up in the comments.
A serious attempt at Mario.
Listen, right. What was it? Was it 80s or 90s that Mario film came out?
It had to be 80s, right? Yeah,
80s. Let's be honest, right? If you want to watch a really cheesy crap film, you put on the Super Mario Bros.
It's weird. But speaking of Nintendo, I was saying this to I was talking to somebody a couple months back. I am absolutely shocked that we had a small animated series of Zelda, but we've never really got a proper, like, why hasn't Nintendo gone, why aren't we making Link and Zelda and all this into a freaking movie or a, like, why have they never even attempted to do that, you know?
Yeah, well,
Like,
they made
it's
like, I think their thing is that like when Detective Pikachu came out,
I love that movie too, by the way.
I hands
I
down,
I own it.
happily,
I bought Detective Pikachu and I've watched it a number of times. I own the movie. I love it.
I'll happily go and watch Detective Pikachu now because it's a fun movie.
It is, yeah.
But it didn't do that well at the box office. So I think with Nintendo is they're thinking like Pikachu, one of the most beloved Pokemon characters, and like if not the most well-known Pokemon as well, you know, didn't do that well at a box office. What's the fact of like Zelda gonna do? You know, I'd love a Metroid.
Oh yeah,
Film.
Metroid.
Metroid as a film or a show would be amazing.
But see, now I think things are changing because, like, let's take a movie off the table and say like a television show, a streaming show, like any of these that we've brought up, Metroid, Zelda, Mario Brothers, I think would work because you've got I think what it is you've got an audience that would give it a chance that might not go to the theaters to see it because they don't want to spend 15 or, you know, if they're going to bring their whole family $100 for movie night, but if they're all at home on the streaming service, they're going to sit down and watch it. And
yeah, I mean, my local cinema is actually doing a pretty decent thing at the moment. It's because of the pandemic, like theaters and that had to shut. Like since they all reopened, it's like $7.99 if you book online, $8.99 if you go like and you know go on the day type thing and don't book, which less than 10 quid to go and watch a film.
Ours are still around $12 here down in South Florida.
That's ridiculous. I happily go and pay $7.99 to go and watch it. I watched Doctor Strange opening night.
Yeah.
8 quid. Yeah, that was fine. I take my own drinks and I take my own sweets or snacks. So I don't have to worry about buying stuff because their drinks and popcorn is ridiculous.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. If you take a family of 4 and then your kids want, you know, so you're spending, like in my area, you're spending $12 a ticket. So you've already spent almost $50 on tickets to get your family of 4 in. And then if they want popcorn and drinks, you're looking at $5 per drink. So there's another $20. And then even if you get the large popcorn, that large bucket's like $8 or $9. So there's another $10. So it's like $50, $60, $70, $80 to take your family out for one movie. So if you put it on a streaming service, you're more likely to watch it. Your fan, because you're like, I'm not going to spend $80 to take my family of 4 out to the movie theater, but I'm going to sit down with my family and make microwave popcorn and get a 2-liter of soda that's $1.50. And now everybody's got a drink and popcorn and we can sit down and watch it as a family on the couch. I think people are more likely to do that. So,
because the only time I really buy stuff at the theater is when me and my friend go, because one of us buys the tickets, the other one buys popcorn and drink.
You split it that way.
Yeah, like one person pays for something, the other person pays for the other. Like we take it in turns. So one week I'll pay the tickets, he'll buy the popcorn and that, then he'll buy the tickets and I'll buy the you know, we quite often share that out that way. But well, they proved that they can do it via streaming services over the course of the pandemic.
Yeah,
like streaming service numbers went skyrocketed during the pandemic because everyone was stuck at home. They threw films and TV shows on there during it that, you know, when you couldn't go to the theaters to go and see it, and it worked. I think a lot of the films they'd done them for, got higher viewings than what it would have done at the box office.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yes.
Or like sometimes like we like you would have had to pay something, like pay a little bit of money to get to be able to watch the film, like Amazon Prime. You know, if you had to like rent the film. But would you rather rent the film, keep it for a week?
Yeah.
You know.
And some of the rentals, I mean, like it's cheaper than going to the theater.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, but
yeah. I still need to watch Jackass 4. So like
I haven't even seen more than the first one.
That's now on Netflix. So I'm just like, right, Jackass 4. It's gonna be weird seeing them all like in their 50s doing everything they were doing in their 20s and 30s. But I'm excited for Jackass 4. You know.
Do you guys only do streaming? What do you have over there? Like for example, over here in general, there was 2 or 3 companies. Like there's Comcast, there's Time Warner, there was a Frontier Net, there's a few other local things. But in general, in the past, what people would do is they would spend, say, $40 to $80 a month on internet, and then on top of that, they would spend upwards of $200 on to one of these Time Warner or Comcast or somebody to get a television package. So you were spending $250 to $280 for internet and television every month. And about 5 years ago or so, I cut the cable bill. I just said no more cable TV and got rid of a $200 a month bill. And then I got streaming services. I have Netflix, we have Hulu, we have HBO, we have Disney Plus, and and then I use the free Roku app and the free Tubi app to watch shows. And in all together, like paying for Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, it's like $50. You know what I mean? So my $200 cable bill to watch every show I watch went down to like $50 or $60. You know, I've got it, and even though I'm paying for like 5 streaming services, so it's way cheaper to pay for 5 streaming services than it is to pay for cable television. And I'm wondering if that's how it was all over the world, and why aren't more people doing that? You know what I mean?
So over here we have a couple of different types of like cable TV. We've got Sky, BT, and I think there's one more.
You got Virgin TV.
Virgin Media.
Do they cost you like £200 a month to get all your channels?
I don't know. We don't have.
You don't even do it yourself.
We don't use it.
With Sky, you could probably pay about that for the time you get your packages, because Sky now does like your internet, your phone line. You can get I think it's like 95 quid, and that gets you the movie channels. But if you want like the sports channels, that's extra on top of that.
Yeah, that's how they get you. Yeah, that's what they did over here. It was like they kept adding all these tiers. So by the time you got to where you could watch all the shows you wanted to watch, it was almost $200.
Yeah, like, and obviously, so the streaming service we have, like Sky does their own called Now TV, which you can basically, if you don't have the Sky channel, Sky cable
service,
you can get sport, movies, and entertainment. We have Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, and like ITV, which is like a channel we have over here, BBC, Channel 4, and Channel 5. They've got their own free streaming services as well.
Yep.
So like you don't technically even need a TV box to watch TV. You could just do it all via
do it all on your phone and everything. Yeah. Or an iPad or whatever.
But the thing is, with that is that like we have to pay TV licensing over here.
Oh,
so for us to be able to like, it includes streaming services now. So if you want to watch any streaming service or any like TV channels in your house, have to pay a TV license, and you could pay it. It's monthly or yearly, isn't it, Baz?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, but here's the kicker. The reason why you're paying a TV license fee monthly or yearly is because of BBC. is because of the British Broadcasting Company. You're paying for that, basically.
Yeah.
You're giving the BBC money. None of the other services require you to have a TV license, but because BBC does, you have to do it by law.
But does the BBC have less commercials because you're paying into it?
BBC has no commercials
Yeah,
whatsoever.
see, that's I get
all
with that's how they make their
all-
money is by the buy-in. Yeah.
But so with all BBC channels, the only adverts you get are for BBC products.
Yep, gotcha.
So, like, say you're watching something on BBC, there's an ad between a show, and it's to show off what's happening tomorrow in EastEnders.
Yep.
Like, that's all it is.
Yeah.
But like, still, like, for me,
because our regular television, like if you're to go into a like ABC, NBC, or Fox, like those are polluted with commercials. Like every 10-15 minutes you've got 5 minutes of commercials about tampons and crackers and like buy the latest whatever. It's garbage. It's like, and that's the advantage of a lot of streaming services is a lot of streaming services don't have any commercials, or if they do, even free ones like Tubi and stuff, the commercials before the show, and they only show one or two commercials. So you can watch the whole show uninterrupted, and in between each episode, there might be one or two commercials.
That's the same with like the Channel 4, Channel 5, and ITV streaming services, is that you have an ad before you watch the episode or before the film. And then you have usually if you're watching a series, you'll have another ad in between each episode.
Yeah. And that's how I think it should be done. If you're going to have advertisements on your service or in your stuff, don't interrupt the program.
No.
Do it at the beginning and end, so that you don't. Yeah.
It's like with the advertisement.
Answering Jonathan's question quick. No, we can't opt out of paying the license. It's required by law to pay it. If you don't pay it, you get people knocking on your door, basically. And if you still refuse to pay it, you can be fined or imprisoned.
Jeez. Yeah. You're not watching TV. You're going to jail.
Up here in my room, everyone else downstairs, like my parents, that watch TV, like watch normal TV. So they'll watch normal everyday TV. Up here, I don't. So even though I have a TV there, connected to that is just my PC, and all I use that for is YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Because for me, normal TV just doesn't have what I want to watch on.
No, not anymore. No, yeah.
Whereas for me, everything that I want to watch is on Netflix, Disney Plus,
or
Amazon
YouTube
Prime,
or whatever. Yeah.
I can get a copy. I'll whisper this: a copy of it. I can become a pirate for the evening. But yeah.
You can opt out, huh?
So you used to be able to opt out if you were. I think it was if you had a disability and you were elderly, you could opt out of it. But that then changed. I think it was last year, didn't it, Baz? They changed it to now everyone has to pay.
It's like if you're a certain age. So, say for example, you're paying £100 for the year for your TV license. If you're a certain age, that would only cost you, say, £50 for the year.
Yeah, it was they reduced the price if you were classed as disabled or an elderly. So if you were retired, basically, you couldn't opt out of it, but they would reduce the price down for you to make it more affordable, because retired people live on a pension and disabled people obviously don't earn a massive amount of money.
Or the other thing is that, I'm going back a few years, but they still do this to this day. Chris might kind of remember, there might be a few guys in this chat room, but my gran, she had the TV, but you had to put a £1 coin in it.
I remember those.
Oh, I heard about that. I've heard about that.
Yeah. I remember those.
I think you would get like 4 hours for your £1 back then. But I know there's still certain TV companies that you can hire the TV. They can actually still have and that basically pays for your TV license.
Would they actually come by and collect out of the
Yes.
television, or was it like
Yeah.
did it go out? Did it roll down a chute and go outside into a little box, and then they'd come
Well,
by
basically,
outside?
it's like a box that goes on the back of the TV, and then when you put your pound coin on the TV, you still have power on your TV, but you can't watch it. It's like they blocked it, so but you would have to have a lot of pound coins, John. I mean, a lot of pound coins.
Yeah.
So obviously got right. So 2 comments I'm going to answer to that have just popped up in the chat. One is Fuggers, and it's what makes you think I leave my room, Fuggers? I live in this room, okay? I have a stack of Pepsi Max there. I can live off of that. It's absolutely fine. Okay, the only time I leave this room is to go to the toilet, have a shower, and go to work. Okay, that's it. I don't leave the house.
And I don't know anybody who checks the weather before they go out. I don't think I've. Oh well, I will say this: the only times I have ever checked the weather before I went out was if I was going to go snowboarding. I wanted to make sure it was snowing up in the mountains, so I had fresh powder. And if I was going to go in the summer to go out surfing, I would check the surf report before I left to see how high the waves were. I wanted to know the swell before I went, because if it wasn't a good swell, I didn't want to drive to the coast to go surfing.
And the other one is that Ian's put he had to physically remove the TV from his uni room because the inspectors didn't believe he only used it for DVD. When the inspectors come round after you don't pay your TV license, by law they are allowed to enter your house to check because they are government inspectors. They'll come in and check if they see a TV. They'll ask what you use that for, why you're not paying your TV license even though you have a TV in your house. So we could have one knock on the door. They'll check downstairs because we've got a couple of TVs downstairs. We've got a TV in my niece's room and a TV in my mum and dad's room. They could check those and ask them why, you got TVs here, there. What do you use it for? If they came in my room and saw a TV there, what does he use that for? Oh, he uses it for his PC. I then have here at my desk, I've got 3 screens.
Yeah.
They're not PC screens. They're 3 mini TVs. They're like 22-inch TVs because they're cheap. And if I need to replace a screen, it's a cheap TV.
Yeah.
They'll ask what I use that for. Again, I use it for my PC. And Ian, I think you'll find that I have made my bed today. Thank you very much. Listen, fellas, no, okay? I will not pay my TV license for that reason because football is rubbish. I don't like any sport. So if I don't like sport, you can't watch it.
That's just like answer John's question is like when it's like looking outside. Because I stay in Scotland, we're not guaranteed to get weather. Man, it's like today we've had like 3 seasons in one day. We've had wind, high winds, we've had rain, we've had sunshine. So we're kind of used to it, man. We can go outside without a jacket on. If it rains, it rains. We're used to it.
Yeah, that's true about Florida also. We'll have like bright sun and a nice hot day. It'll get up to 90 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. And then about 2:00 in the afternoon, all of a sudden these clouds will start roaring in. At 3:00, it'll be totally pitch black outside with the darkest storm clouds you've ever seen. And suddenly it'll go boom, and there'll be this flash flood and lightning and wind. And you're like, oh my gosh, what the hell's going on? And then like 4:00, it'll all clear away and disappear. And then you'll be like a normal quiet evening in the autumn or something. So you're like, yeah, we get like 3 or 4 different things in Florida sometimes too.
I'm sorry, but Fuller, Antiques Roadshow is still on. I thought that ended years ago.
I think Roadshow is still on. It's about selling toys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't watch TV. I watch Netflix, YouTube, and I just watch streaming services. Okay.
He 100% gets them. Yeah.
Oh, we're like, it's kind of weird because we Scotland, because everybody says, oh, Scotland gets like 4 seasons in one day. Our summer up here kind of should start in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'll get the better weather and all that, but it's kind of funny because a lot of folk will say, they'll look up and go, what's that orange thing in the sky? It's like we've never seen it in our lives. It's like a miracle when you see the sun. As soon as you see that sun, you're outside, you're trying to sunbathe, you're doing things, you're doing this, you're doing that, and then you regret it because it's like, because we're used to summer, like 4 months of summer, and then the rest it's basically like winter, rain. You're used to the cold weather, but you're not used to the warm weather.
Yeah.
There's a place in Italy that's opposite of that. I remember I went to Italy with my brother and a couple friends, and I can't remember what town we were in, but we went to this one area that was so dry and so hot that they barely ever got rain. And we happened to be there on a day that it rained. And people were like, store owners and shopkeepers and stuff were coming out of the buildings looking at the rain. And we were like, what's going on? Why is everybody out in the street? It's just raining. And they go, well, I haven't seen rain in 4 years. They were like, it's been 4 years since I've actually seen rain fall from the sky. So we were like, what the hell? Like, how can you live in an area that it doesn't rain for 4 years? Like, that's so like crazy to us, you know?
Right.
That's the question. Sometimes that's like that. It's like you see that sun.
Yeah. So it's the opposite. Yeah, when you guys see the sun, you're like, I haven't seen the sun in 5 years. What the hell?
I've got one simple solution for Phil's figures about his dad's army comment. Buy them on Blu-ray. If you want to watch Dad's Army on Boxing Day, just get the box set. Simple. And Ian, if you mention that I know DC again, I'm going to come up north. I'm going to get that wheelchair of yours. We're going to strap it to a car. I marvel, not DC. How dare you? That's an insult.
Right, just before we get kind of carried away, has anybody picked anything new up this week or in the last couple of days?
The newest thing I got was that Thor figure from the Retro Marvel, but I think he's in the other room now. He's not in here. Yeah.
There's a Kit Kat count.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
No, because I don't get paid until tomorrow, so I can't buy anything until tomorrow.
I'm kind of the same, but I picked up a few bits between yesterday and the day. I'll just, if Simon was in, Simon would Shabby's brother would probably appreciate this guy.
Oh yeah, that's a great looking figure. I mean, I love the armor and the detail on that figure. I do.
Oh, definitely. Man, B&M's is getting these back in again, but man, the majority of the ones that they've had in the last couple of weeks has only been either Superboy Prime or it's one of the Flashes. It's the white one. I don't think it's Godspeed. I think it was something Pursuit's Flash, but it's like in a white.
The white one, yeah.
So
with red, he's got red lines on him, right? It's white with red lines, yeah.
When I went in the day and I had this one, I was like, "Oh, he's coming home with me,"
because he just looks so cool, right? Yeah.
And then I don't know if you're into these or no, John, but I've been picking up a ton.
No, I just don't like the design of them, but I get why people get them. Yeah. And it's just like I get too much stuff already, so I can't like get into something new.
The only thing with these are like addictive to me, because as soon as I see these, man, I could pick these up for between £2 to £3 a pack.
Yeah.
And when I see specific characters that I'm after, then I'll pick them up. I'll not pick every wave up. I could only maybe pick up maybe one pack to a wave, because sometimes there's only either 2 figures to a wave, or there's 4 figures to a wave, or sometimes there's 6. Like the original ones, you used to get about 6 different packs, kind of thing. But only reason I picked up because it's got like the Spider Girl. I mean, the other one you can get Superior Superman and Peter Parker, but I've got so many Spider-Mans, I didn't need another.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. And then I went back to game as well and picked up.
Oh wow.
This guy. So now I only need what's the guy's name I'm needing new, Chris?
Clovis Grave.
Cool. I just need him new just to finish off the group.
I'm gonna keep an eye out. I'm gonna keep an eye out for you, Baz.
Yep.
And a couple of weeks ago, John, I picked up a ton of stuff. Picked up Lightning Collection. I picked up Marvel Legends, Transformers, and the whole lot should have cost me 180 quid for what I got, and I got it for £75.
Wow. That's a good deal.
I would show them off, but they're actually in the other room because I'm trying to rearrange the wall so I can actually. I didn't want to open the Marvel Legends because it's the vintage style 6-inch figures.
Yeah.
And I got them for £6 each. But
was it that store that was doing that 50-60% off sale?
No, it's
get them all from that. Huh?
It's a game shop.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's probably just like your game shop in America.
It's got GameStop.
Yeah, yeah.
But over the last year, they've started to get more and more collectible stuff in.
Yeah.
Chris will be able to back them up, but Game over here used to only bring out figures if it was a new game that got released. If they were making merchandise for that, then you would get the toys for it as well. But now they're getting more and more. And every time I go in there, it's like, because they're doing the big Devastator set.
Oh, wow.
It's Michael Bay Devastator.
Yeah.
At the minute, they've got that reduced into 120 quid, and I'm so tempted to get it.
Wow.
When this is a big.
Yeah.
I
got mine up there, and it's freaking massive. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like I got 3 Transformers for 15 quid, and they were all like £30 each. So I got like 25 quid off them.
Wow.
And it was mental when I went in there because I got the Hawkeye and Old Man Logan 2-pack.
That's a good one. I never got that, and I wish I did. Yeah.
I got it for 11 quid, and I know it goes for between 40 to 50 quid over here.
Wow.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, I never got an Old Man Logan, and I wish I did now because I've got so many Logan figures that I'm kind of like, man, I've got, Weapon X. I've got him in all his different costumes I've got the ones with the bone claws, but now I don't have an Old Man Logan because I wasn't getting them all back then. Yeah.
I've actually got that one handy, to be honest. See that I haven't read like the comic for like the Old Man Logan, but I always wondered why it always come with a baby Hulk.
Oh yeah, because there was a the Hulk that had the basically the beard and everything, the old Hulk like took over half the land in the future when Old Man Logan was running around. But there was a next of kin in a sense that he started protecting. And the whole thing was, it's sort of like the heir to the throne deal, Like if Hulk got a hold of the kid and killed it, then he'd stay the king and there'd be no one to replace him. So, it's that whole deal.
Things, it's like in that like story, you've got the Hulk family that there's everybody's like the Hulk kind of thing, but I need to try and pick some of those comics up just to get an idea. But in my work, I see like these coming in, and it's like every one I've seen with Old Man Logan, it's always coming like a baby Hulk, and it's like, why is Logan got? I thought something happened to the Hulk, basically got turned back.
He shrunk down, turned into a baby. Yeah, no.
But
they did that a lot. I mean, there was there was a whole wave of stuff going around where like Cable was watching a baby Summers, you know, and he was traveling through time, trying to stay ahead of the this group of these people that were after him, because you know, Scott Summers and Jean Grey had a child named Hope, but Hope Summers was the hope for the future in a sense at this point. So Cable, in order to save Hope, went through time. So it was like you had Old Man Logan running around with a baby Hulk, and you had Cable running around with a baby mutant, a baby Cyclops, you know, like so it was like there was this period where everybody was running around with these babies, like trying to keep them safe. And yeah. Peaky says, I'm hungry. So all this talk about babies has made you hungry?
Yeah, I've eaten my Kit Kat. No, I'll be getting a load of stuff tomorrow. What have I got? What am I going to buy tomorrow?
I'll need to try and see if I can find that one, GeForce.
I've got a Hago 2-pack coming tomorrow. I've got the Master Chief with the Brute coming tomorrow. What else have I got coming? Let's go to my thing. Oh, see, I forget what I've ordered. This is dangerous when I do this. I've got Lego coming because you know I'm a huge fanatic about Lego.
What set did you get?
I've got a couple of sets coming. So I've got the Guardians of the Galaxy ship.
That's a good one. I got that one.
What else have I ordered?
The orange and blue ship. That one.
Yeah.
I got that one. Yeah,
the Gargantos showdown from Doctor Strange 2.
Oh, the tentacle guy. Yep.
Yeah. The goat boat from.
The goat boat looks great, doesn't it? I want to see that goat boat built. I want to see what that looks like.
So those 3 sets that I've built, I'm probably going to do a live stream building each one.
Yeah.
I've ordered a Doctor Strange replica Eye of Agamotto sling ring and levitation cloak pins. And I've also ordered the Lightning Collection Lord Zed helmet.
Oh, okay, yep.
I don't know if I turn my lights on. I have a whole collection. I have the Lightning Collection all there.
Yeah.
So, and I kind of like, I was umming and ahhing between the Draken helmet and the Lord Zed helmet. And a couple of friends just said the Lord Zed, like straight up Lord Zed. I was like, okay, I'll get the Lord Zed helmet. I guess I'll get that one.
Do you have a Red Ranger helmet? Because you got so many Red Rangers in your collection.
No, I don't have a. The Lord Zed helmet would be the first helmet I get.
The first helmet, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of picky when it comes to my Lightning collection. So the story about my Lightning collection is I was solely gonna just collect villains.
Yeah.
So because I've got Megazords going pretty much halfway around my room.
Yeah, and I admire that. I love your Megazord collection.
What goes well with my Megazords? The villains.
Yeah. So
I thought I'll just collect the villains from the Lightning collection. That way I have a villain lineup as well. And then one of our friends drunkenly brought me the SPD Red Ranger Lightning Collection figure. So I was like, well, I guess I'll collect Red Rangers. So I decided to do a Forever Red type lineup of the Red Rangers. And then another friend for Christmas got me the SPD A Squad versus B Squad 2-pack. So I was like, now I'm going to have to collect Blue Rangers.
And there's a running joke in
there's a running joke that everyone's going to gift me one of each other color, so then I have to buy all of the others.
See, for me, my Lightning collection is It's basically the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, the
Yeah.
first series that I saw in the United States. So I've been just getting those. So I have all my Rangers, and I've got and then I went in to get the White Ranger, the Green Ranger as well, and then I've been getting the villains, and I've got like 4 or 5 different putties that have come out up there, because they're all slightly different. They have different markings, each of the putties.
That's the thing with me is like when they release like a variant like that. So like they released the COG 2 pack, and then recently they released a single COD, a single COG. I didn't buy the single COG because I thought like, well, already got 2 COGs. I've got one of the red ones and one of the grey ones. Doesn't matter. Like, I've got 2. One of each cog, because I'm not a completionist when it comes to the Lightning collection. I don't need to buy every figure.
Yeah.
As long as I get like one of each, like with the cog 2 pack, as long as I get one of each, I'm happy.
Like for me, I was just Mighty Morphin, and I thought there's 5 guys, so I've got to have 4 or 5 putties for them to fight, and fortunately they made slightly different ones at different times, so I was able to get a bunch of different ones, and then Lord Zed and the Witch and Goldar and all them,
See, I pick up, man, as you can see with my Power Ranger collection, man, I pick up the Lightning collection when I see them in sale or cheap. I didn't go out and buy them because, like, I started off with the Lightning collection. I only wanted Lord Zed. That was the only one I really wanted, and then Doggy Kruger come out, and he was one of my other favourite Rangers, and it's like I had to get him. And then I seen the White Ranger going down on sale, so I bought him, and then ended up getting the Psycho Rangers. And it was kind of funny because Chris this went and bought them, and he paid £100 for them. I went into the same shop that I was talking about game, and they were selling it for £40 for the set.
Wow.
Listen, like £100 for the best villains to ever be in Power Rangers was worth it. I've turned my lights off so you can see my collection a little bit better now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it goes. So the top shelf is main Mighty Morphin villains. So it's Evil Green Ranger, Scorpina, Goldar, Lord Zed, Finster, and Rita.
Yep.
Then the next shelf is in space villains. So it's the 5 Psychos, Astronomer, and Silver Psycho. That's the Red Rangers. That's Blue Rangers. That's the big villain lineup they did. So
like
King
the pumpkin,
Sphinx,
the eye guy.
Pumpkin Pepper. That one there is Cyber Villain Blaze because I had nowhere else to put him, so I just put him down there. Pudgy Pig, and then on this smaller bookcase, the top shelf is Boom's Comics. So it's Ranger Slayer, Red Sentry, and Draken, but it's Evo 3 Draken.
Yep.
Then it's oh no, sorry, I got it wrong. Between Pumpkin Rapper and Pudgy, it's the Tenga. And then it's the second shelf is Cyber Villain Blaze, the 2 Cogs, and Pirantis Head. Then the next shelf down is I bought the Turtle packs.
Oh yeah.
So the next shelf is the Foot Soldier Tommy, Shredder, and April is the Pink Ranger. Next shelf down is the 4 Turtles because I had to put the 4 Turtles together.
Yeah.
I couldn't split them to them 4 up. And then the last shelf underneath those is the SPD A Squad Rangers, all 5. So like, I'm running out of room. I've only got 2 shelves left to put figures on.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm probably going to be getting because I'm missing a couple of Red Rangers. So I'm missing Mighty Morphin Red with Jason. I'm not getting the metallic red because I don't need 2 of the same outfit in a Mighty Morphin. Yeah, like having a metallic red and then a normal red I just don't care. Like it's the same suit, just a different variant to me. And obviously I need to get when it comes out Red Ninjetti, which will be my which would be my my Steve Cardenas Red Ranger Rocky. So,
G-Force. You're saying G-Force. You're saying you have to sell your most expensive figure. So that you don't have a choice. Then you have to sell the one that's worth the most. Wow. Let's see what is worth the most in my collection. I would have to say of a toy, the most value for one single figure is probably, wouldn't you agree, the Darth Vader 12-back that's sealed? It's still sealed, and I have a 12-back Darth Vader on card. So I would think that that's the most expensive one that I own. Probably has the most value. I'd be surprised if there's something else in my collection that's worth more than that. But I mean, as far as my whole entire collection, if you include the comic books, it would probably be the first appearance of Wolverine in Hulk 181 is probably the most valuable item that I own in my collection.
mine would probably be this, as I try not to knock everything down while I pick it up.
Oh my gosh! What is that one? That one is cool.
So this is the pardon the name here. It's the ISIS Wild Force Megazord.
That is freaking awesome, dude.
This would probably be my most expensive one.
I love those wings and everything. Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah. So the wings do actually they fold down, and then it goes into like a shield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
this
so
one,
cool.
I'm not gonna lie. This is the Zord I paid the most money for. This cost me 100. What was it? 120, I think.
How much do you see them things going for nowadays, though?
Complete like mine is probably about the same amount, maybe up to 200.
Yeah.
Because it's like not many people realize, like, obviously it's a Wild Force Zord, so like with the Wild Force Zords you could put different Zords onto different Megazords.
Oh, they all kind of peg together eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, but the ISIS, you don't see many people with the ISIS Megazord complete in that formation, because that formation with the deer, the giraffe, rhino, the condor, and the armadillo is the proper formation for the ISIS Megazord. So not many people know that's what it is.
Gotcha.
So like you don't really see many. Only true, I think maybe true Megazord collectors have that in the correct formation. But after that, it would probably be my complete Astro Megazord ship from in space, because it comes with the sword, the blaster, the shield, and the 2 guns on the legs.
Wow.
That was complete. That was just under 100 quid I paid for that one.
So expensive thing that I've got in my collection would have to be the radio control Batmobile.
From 89? Is that 89?
No, that's the big remote control one that comes out, but you need your phone to control it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's probably my most expensive thing that I've bought. But the second would be my Player Kai Starship Trooper figure. I mean, I only paid £80 for it when it first came out, but now that goes for like 600-700 quid.
Oh wow, huh?
So technically, that's the most expensive thing I've got.
Yeah, well, that's what I think he was talking about. If you were going to sell it, like, what would you get the most money for? And that's probably it out of your collection. I don't
know, because I've got the original
Gremlin,
small soldiers as well.
Yeah, you got some small soldiers, the Gremlin, and the Titan. I remember when I sold my Titanosaur, the big like brontosaurus looking but mine was in the box. It was still sealed in the box, but I got like over $400 for him. You know what I mean? So he was really expensive, and that was years ago. That was more like 10 years ago. I mean, I can't even remember how long ago that was. So he's got to be worth a lot more now, you know.
Titanus can go for about £400 or £500, could I say?
Yeah, Titanus. Yeah, that's it. Titanus. Yeah. And I wish now I'd never sold them, because I was like, you know, it was one of those things. I like we're talking. I wasn't working at the time. I needed some money, and someone offered me that much, and I was like, yeah, I can get rid of him, you know, for that, and that'll pay the rent this month. I won't have to worry about it. So, and now it's like I wish I didn't sell it. You know,
if you're going to kind of go down that road, I've got 3 Zords that I paid £40 for the 3 of them, boxed, complete. But for the 3 of them now, they go for like £200 each, near enough. Because one of them's American exclusive, one of them's a UK exclusive. We didn't get the 2 of them released over here at the same time, so I was lucky to get the 2 Zords from that series, kind of thing. But because Ian's talking about Holy Grails, but I know what his Holy Grail is, and that is the Tracy Island, and I really hope he can win the bidding on that.
I have 2 or 3 Holy Grails that I really want. Like, my biggest one is the Godzilla from Shogun Warriors. I had that when I was a kid, and it was one of my favorite toys, one of my favorite Godzillas. I'm a big Godzilla fan, and I've just never pulled the trigger on one, because every time I see it, they're $300 or $400.
Is that the one that fires? That's got the
fist? Yeah, and he has a flicking tongue. And a lot of times the feet are broken or the tongue is broken. So I also don't want a broken one.
No.
I want it complete and nice, you know. So, and then the second Holy Grail, which is again something we owned when we were kids. I had the Kraken from Clash of the Titans with the 4 arms and everything and the big long tail. And I would love to have the Kraken again. But yeah, it's another one of those things where the last time I saw a Kraken for sale at a store, it was $800. And we thought it would be there forever. We went back like a month or so later, and they had sold it. They got $800 for it. So it was like, yeah, that was not a sky in the, you know, like outrageous price, I guess, because someone bought it, you know. So it's like, yeah, so those 2 are my biggest, I would say, Holy Grails that I would want right now. And
I wonder if Baz can guess what my Holy Grail is.
Pretty Power Ranger related, I would assume.
Yeah, because I only really collect Power Ranger stuff.
That's actually quite a toughie, because I've not actually got a clue, because you've got majority of the Zords that you're needing.
Yeah, it is a Megazord.
Do you have the special editions like the black and gold and other?
Why bother? I've got the originals.
I would probably. I was going to say Dragon Zord, but I think you've already got that.
I have got that. It's not MMPR. So it's basically, it's not this side. It's basically what I have in front of me here. So I have In Space to Dino Thunder here in front of me.
It would have to be what I would assume one of the SPD.
Nope.
Do you have the big white one that turns into that big vehicle, an SPD?
Not yet. I don't have the room for that one at the moment.
That's one I was thinking about, the command station that turns into the big Zord.
Yeah. I saw one of those at a store recently, and I was like, holy crap. But it wasn't cheap enough. But I was like,
I tell you, it's the Omega Megazord from Lightspeed Rescue.
Omega Megazord.
It's the one that they ended up taking up into space
Oh,
to destroy the meteor.
oh, I know what one you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that comes with like the spear. Yeah, because I'm trying to find that one that's not really overly overpriced is ridiculous. I've seen it go for about 400 or 500 quid.
Wow.
For a Megazord. And that's because they only released it in the US. I don't think they released it over here in the UK.
Huh.
I don't know, man. I've got quite a few things that I want, but I would probably say my holy grail would probably have to be the Thundercat Lair.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah.
Or the thing that I don't know what it is, but I want a Rancor. I don't care if it's the original Rancor or if it's one of the like more modern ones, but I've missed out picking that up so many times because you had one as a kid, John, and it's like so long for you had one, and every time I seen it, it looked like it had a broken bit on its bottom jaw.
Yeah.
And I always thought they were broken, so I never picked them up.
He's right there. That's mine. That's my Rancor from when I was a kid, actually.
Always
The
thought
very one I own.
it's that long for a seen one. Every time I seen it, it looked like it had been like a bit had been broken off, like the bottom jaw, and then realised talking to Dave's like, no, that's how it comes, and they're like, oh no, because somebody was actually selling one for 10 quid at a toy fair one day, and that they says the only thing that's the matter with it is just the arms are loose, but I says that's an easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
It fixed that no problem. And when he said a 10, and I was like, I seen it broken. It's like, well, I don't really want the face being broken. No realizing 6 months later that it isn't broken. It's just to design it.
There's a rubber band inside holding the arms in, so you can almost do it. You can almost fix that the same way you would fix like a He-Man figure or something. Well,
the thing that was mad with the guy says is that the arms was loose on it, but I says, man, we're watching Toy Polloi. You've kind of got an idea of how to fix things, and it's like that's not a problem. I can kind of fix that myself.
Yeah.
But if you're going to have one yourself, I'm not too fussed about. Because
I don't think the Rancor has. I don't think he has screws on the back. I don't think you can unscrew him. I think he was glued together. I think you can pop the rubber band in one side and then feed it through the body, and you got to kind of stretch it out the other side, hook it into the other arm, and then you let go and the arms snap into place. You know,
and they'll be tight. You basically put the cable tie in the hook on the arm.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Another one in the middle kind of thing, and then once you've got it in position, you just basically pull the cable ties, and then it basically puts the arms back in, because you can do that with like the old Chewbacca. And
yeah, same way you do Chewbacca. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
But it's like my Gremlin. His arms are so loose now, but I've managed to tighten them up. Good thing about that, he's got screws in the back, but I wasn't even attempting to take the screws out just in case it broke. But we use it's called plumbing tape, John.
Yeah.
When you're putting pipes on, and it was Toy Polloi that was telling me about that with like those Star Wars figures. You can tighten the joints up using, and it worked perfect with them. Works perfectly for like the old, really vintage stuff kind of thing.
Yeah. That Gremlin is something we had when we were kids too, which got lost over time. And I wish I had that Gremlin. Every time I see him in your collection, I'm like, man, I want that Gremlin back.
That guy's been through thick and thin, man. I can't believe that survived all these years, to be honest. One of my pride and joys. It's a good scare tactic as well, because my nieces, they love, like my nieces and nephews, they love coming in here and having a look at what I've got. But the minute they see that,
They
they
get
freak out.
scared. Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's the eyes kind of thing, because once I found it in the loft and then brought it back down again, the first time I kind of had it on display, I was kind of looking and it's like, that is freaky with the eyes, because it's like marble effect, and I said, can you imagine waking up middle of the night and seeing that thing staring at you, man? It'd freak you out.
Yeah. See, like, some people were talking in there about like the vinyl Cape Jawa, like an early bird set from Star Wars. Like, I think the reason those, I would love to have them. I do not own those, and I would love to have them. But part of me is kind of like, the early bird set to me is almost no different than just having the 4 figures. And I've got the 4 figures. So I have a hard time. I would take it if I saw it for $20 or $30, of course. But I'm not about to spend $10,000 on that, because I'm like, I've already got those 4 figures. So just because they're in a white tray, it's $10,000. You know what I mean? So I kind of like, I could never spend that. So it's not on my holy grail list, because I know it's something I would never buy, and I doubt I'm ever going to find it for $20 or $30. You know what I mean? So it's not on my list. And it's the same with the vinyl Cape Jawa. I'm not about to spend $3,000 on a vinyl Cape Jawa. And also, I never had a vinyl Cape Jawa when I was a kid. I don't remember ever even seeing one. So it has no nostalgic value to me, because I can't remember even ever seeing one. Where like the Godzilla and the Kraken, those were toys I owned and played with regularly. So that's why they're grails for me. And they seem to be more obtainable. They're less than $1,000. So someday I might feel like I can drop the money on them and own them. Like, it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. So, because like, if we were going to pick all-time holy grails, I would want to wax sculpt, the original wax sculpt of any Kenner Star Wars action figure. Because to me, that's like the prototype stage where they were designing the figure. And then the wax sculpt is usually bigger. So to me, as a collector of toys and Star Wars and stuff, that to me would be the ultimate thing, because you technically would have something that there's only one of. If you got that, it'd be like, no one else on earth has this. It's only me, you know? So, I know G-Force. Yeah. G-Force is saying, you know, someone who got one for $25. Yeah, that is true. I do know someone who did, but yeah. And if I were there, I would have bought that collection from them also. You know what I mean? I would have been like, what's that over there, Dilda? Bye. I gotta go home. You know?
I'd like to answer G-Force's question. What was the first toy you remember from your childhood? Well, mine's is this guy.
Yeah.
He was the first action figure I ever got.
See, we had Weeble Wobbles, and I remember Weebles, and we had some adventure people, stuff like that. I had like a Klingon that was one of my first toys, and then the Star Wars when they first started coming out. Those were the ones, yeah.
So mine, I actually have it because it sits on my desk permanently. So back when I grew up in the early 90s, so Pokemon, Power Rangers, all of that was like big for my childhood. And I have this.
Oh, Pokeballs.
Who's in
and
that
it's,
one?
It's an electronic game.
Oh,
it's
the electronic one.
Pokemon.
Nice.
And I've had this since I was a kid, and it just sits on my desk as like a little like desk piece.
Bye, Ian.
See you later, Ian. It's nearly bedtime for me as well.
And And the thing is, though, is I do think that we got an early bird set because I have the Chewbacca with the green gun, and the green gun, as far as I understand it, was only in the early bird. So the only way that I would have got that green gun is if we had got an early bird set. So I actually I don't remember it, and my mother can't remember. She said that she sent away for every single figure that was a mail away. So we got all the mail aways, all the way up to Anakin Skywalker. But she can't remember if the first figures we ever got were a mail away. And I don't remember because I was a kid. It's like I just don't remember that stuff. So a lot of times I ask her, do you remember getting this thing or that thing? And she can't really remember. But she did say, like, I remember we used to mail away for all the Star Wars and all the G.I. Joe because that was like a thing we did together. We would collect all the points and then fill out the mail form and send it in. And we did that all the way up to, through G.I. Joe, and we got Anakin Skywalker as a mail away, and we got Bosk, and we got the Emperor, and we got, Forlam and Admiral Akbar and all those as mail aways. So it's highly possible that we did get the early bird set as a mail away, but those figures have been intermingled with all my other figures, so there's no way to tell. I've got like 12 Chewbaccas. I've got, and the Chewbacca that I had as a kid is loose as hell. So if that one came from the early bird, it's not worth any money. He's just a flimsy. And but I do have a double telescoping Luke right there. So I have the Luke with the double telescope lightsaber, which would have been from the early bird set, but that telescoping lightsaber is something I recently got, and I got it in a job lot of stuff. I bought a pile of accessories and figures, and in the bag I found, it was funny because I found the lightsaber with a hole in it first, and then sifting through all the other parts, I found this yellow filament. And to be quite frank, I almost threw it away. I thought it was a broken part. And I almost threw it away because I thought it was a broken thing. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, there's just some yellow thing in my, and then it dawned on me. I went, wait a minute, does that go to the lightsaber? And that's why the lightsaber's hollow. And I slid them together and poked it inside there. And I'm like, holy crap, it's a double telescoping lightsaber, and then I got one of my Lukes and just put the lightsaber in the Luke. Got a really nice one. He's a mint-looking, beautiful Luke, and put the lightsaber in his arm. So that's how I got my double telescope Luke. But and that's also how I got my Yoda cane. I bought an Ewok village in the box, and the guy said I threw a Ziploc bag with a few accessories. And in the Ziploc bag of accessories was a Yoda cane, and that's the only way my Yoda has a cane. Because I didn't have a cane before that, and I was like, "Oh, great! I got a Yoda cane now." So
it's always good when you find stuff and it's something that you've been looking for ages, and then
you're
looking at it, and go, "I recognize this, but what's this for?"
Yeah,
it's like I had a camera. But it's like when you press the handle, it's like a drill coming at it. And it looked so familiar, and it's like, what is this? For some reason, I was thinking it was Toxic Crusaders. And then talking to Dave, it wasn't. It was from the Turtles.
Oh.
It's for the mutation Bebop.
Oh, okay.
It's like, it was just one day I was at a car boot sale, and guy had a tray on the deck. I just had like random weapons, swords, guns. And I just kind of just picked them all up.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't look like they were vintage guns kind of thing, but you pick up like your 3 3/4 inch figures, and because my nephew likes like the lanyard style figures, it's like, I'll get him some weapons to go with them kind of thing. And then it's like, oh, that's a Star Wars blaster. But
yeah.
Like, the retro Han Solo, I found that at a boot sale. And then about 2 or 3 months later, I found his blaster. And I thought it was a vintage blaster, but what, because the plastic felt different. It's like, you know, with the vintage stuff and the knockoffs and all that. I says, that feels, it's like a more a harder plastic, John.
Huh.
And then I was talking to Dave again, and Dave says, I think that goes to the retro Han Solo, the one that's just the one that you got a few months back. So it was, even though it doesn't fit in his hand, I managed to, the way I've got him posed, that you can actually, it looks like he's got it in a holster.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's got that little loop on his holster. You can pop it in there. Yeah.
But, and then I've went and found a few more mallets from my Harley Quinn collection as well, because one of my Harley Quinns was missing a mallet. But it didn't come with a mallet, but Harley Quinn's either got to come with a baseball bat or hammer.
I like it with the hammer. I like her with the hammer. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, there's like a little vintage thrift store that has like the stuff, and they sometimes have a bin with random parts in it, and he does like 50 cents a part. And I've gone through those things, and one time I got like all the pieces for Piranacon, a transformer named combiner that was called Piranacon. But it was like I paid $5 or $6 for all these parts, and then was able to basically trade and sell them off to get stuff that I wanted. And I ended up with like $50 worth of stuff. It was like for just those parts. So I'm always going through those bins and buying up parts and pieces, and because you never know, either you're going to, and a lot of times I see something and I go, I recognize that. I know I can't off the top of my head figure out what that is right now, but I know it's something. So I'm going to buy it because it's only $1. And then when I get home, I'll do research and figure out what it is. Or I ask people, do you guys remember this? Do you know what it is? And that's what I did with this Dune figure. He was in $1 bin, and I'm like, I know this is something. And I was like, I think it's Dune, but I'm not 100%. And then but it's only $1. So I was like, I'm going to buy him. And then when I got home, I confirmed to myself that it was Dune. I looked it up, and this thing is like a $20 figure. You know, you're not going to find him for $1 anywhere.
Well, that's what me is that there was a. Do you remember Cosmic Cowboys, John? Yeah, I always thought that gimmicks from like the 80s and the 90s weren't right for toys.
No, they weren't, right? What is that thing doing? Yeah.
Because
what is it? The space? What'd you say? The Cowboys?
Space Cowboys. You ever remember a toy line like the Space Cowboys?
I remember something about that. Yeah, yeah.
Well, I went and found a figure from. It's basically like the same range, but it was cried. I think it was Battlehawks or Battlehawks. I think it was cried. I found that for 50 pence in a box with all his limbs, because the limbs you can pop off and you can basically make your own figure up.
Yep.
And then it's like I recognized it, but I just couldn't. You know, when you find something, it's like I know what that is, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And I tried to do all the imaging that, but I kept coming up with Wolverine. And I says, that's not right. So next one was like, Dave, do you know what this guy is? Dave fucking knew right away. And I had a funny idea that it was something to do with one of those toy lines. But I found that for 50 pence, right? But that goes for like £100 in the condition I've got it in.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's the same with the Automan. I found an Automan in a bin.
Oh, wow, an Automan, yeah.
For 50 pence.
Wow.
I looked at it and it's like, I recognise it, but I thought it was a knockoff Tron figure. And then it wasn't until Dave again, it's like, no, that's Automan.
Automan is big, yeah.
That's lucky. I mean, I know you probably get more Automan stuff over here because it was more of a British thing.
It is, yeah.
Like, I know like a lot of you guys, if you ever got to watch the Automan in the States, it's like, oh, I want the toys, I want this, but it's like
Did they ever do the car?
They did do the car, but I think it was just like a die cast. I don't think they made that.
It didn't fit the figure. Okay.
There was meant to be a second wave, John, because you were meant to get his human counterpart.
Okay.
The police officer, and you were meant to get the car, and I believe you were meant to get the plane as well, or the helicopter.
Yeah.
But we never. I don't think the series done that well, so they never bothered. I don't think the toys done that well.
Yeah.
I think they only done like a stationary set. They done that one figure. They done a dress up thing, and there was one other thing I think they did, but that's all they made. Kind of thing. I don't think the series done that well for them to continue making toys. Is it will
Yeah.
was no.
Because that would be another cool car to have, and then have
Oh.
the figure with it, you know? Yeah. It's also like a shame they never did a lot with the last Starfighter. Like, I would have liked to have the Starfighter ship that could fit a figure in it, and I'd like to have what's his name's car, the alien's car from Last Starfighter. Was his name Caesar? What was his name again? The alien guy? I can't remember now. Griggs was his co-pilot. I remember Griggs was his co-pilot, but I can't remember what the...
Because that's the lizard guy, isn't it?
Yeah, Griggs is the lizard guy. Yeah. Yeah. But I think they made...
Was it Centauri?
Centauri, yeah, Centauri, yeah. Because I think they at least made prototype figures, but I don't think they ever did any vehicles or anything.
It's like one toy I wanted when I was a kid, and that was Dino Saucers. But they made they done the prototype, but it never got released. I would have loved to have had Dino. I know you can get knockoff versions of them; they do look good, but I would love to have had one of those Dino Saucer figures as a kid. I would have loved if they'd done that. So what's it? So we're nearly up to our 2 hours.
Yeah, they did figures like Super 7 and those guys, like Reaction, but they never did them. I guess they didn't actually produce them. I saw photos of them like as a prototype thing, but they never actually made them back in the 80s. The only ones are from Super 7 Reaction figures in the modern times.
It's like for me, man, I know a lot of folk are probably not agreeing, but I wish they'd done Spaceball figures.
Yeah, I would have loved Spaceballs figures.
Yep. I wish even Reaction, man. I wish they would just, even if they were just 3 3/4 inches, I wish they would do Spaceball figures, because I mean, having Dark Helmet is a counterpart.
That would have been a ridiculous figure, but
well, there was something announced at today at I just saw some stuff going up that was announced at Celebration related to Spaceballs.
Apparently they wasn't there plans to make a sequel?
There was meant to be a sequel, but it never
I'd be up for them. I wonder if they would do it now. I mean, the only problem they probably wouldn't get back was when they played Dark Helmet, who was also in Ghostbusters and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, because he retired from acting when his wife died.
You really get John Candy. You got to have to replace the John Candy from character as well.
So they'd have to replace two actors. So I don't think it would work the same.
I don't even know if Mel Brooks is still alive or not.
I think he is. See, I'm the Google guy.
I'm actually looking right now. I swear I just right before coming on this stream with you guys, I saw something on the Star Wars Celebration stream about Spaceballs, and they had figures and some other merchandise, and I'm trying to look it up right now, and I can't.
Mel Brooks is alive, but he's 95.
I don't see any photos on Twitter, so I'm trying to.
So I don't quite think he's in the right state to make Spaceballs 2.
No, I don't think they're doing another movie, but there was, maybe someone in chat remembers what they were talking about.
I'll have a wee look at sale once we're finished with the stream. I'm kind of interested to see what was revealed for this year.
So with us hitting the 2 hour mark, Super Awesome Geek Show. Where can everyone find you?
You taking over for Dave tonight?
I'm taking over Dave's job.
Well, you like Peaky's been nice to do during the stream. He's linked my my YouTube over and over again in the stream, so that's the biggest thing. And then Twitter, I'm Awesome Geek Show on Twitter because Super didn't fit, so it's just Awesome Geek Show. And then I think on Facebook, Instagram, and everything else, it is Super Awesome Geek Show. I think they allowed the whole thing. So, yeah. But yeah, that's it, really, right?
Mr. Baz, where can everyone find you?
Right here, we're on Baz's channel.
You can find me on Instagram, Dark Liking 81, Dark Shocker on Twitter, Dark Liking 05 on TikTok, Baz Shocker on Facebook. If anybody wants to join us on Facebook, and then Dark Liking 81 on this. And then where can we find you, Mr. Peaky Arrow?
So I'm the Peaky Arrow on Twitter, Instagram, and the YouTubes. That's it really. I don't. I'm on TikTok as well as the Peaky Arrow, but I haven't really posted on there for a while.
Same with me. I think I'm Super Awesome Geek Show on that, but I haven't done a whole lot.
Yeah,
I did some videos a long time ago and then never went back to it.
I just can never figure out what kind of thing to post on there, so I just haven't posted for a while.
Yeah,
Chris, just use your imagination.
I don't have an imagination. I'm nearly 30.
Chris, I'm in my 40s, mate, and I still have an imagination.
My imagination went when I entered my 20s. But yeah, I'm just a Peaky Arrow on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm hoping to start posting more toy-related stuff on Instagram soon. And then yeah, Twitter is probably the best place to find out when I post a new YouTube video as well, because I usually, as soon as I upload a new video, I tweet it out as well. So
yeah,
and obviously another way is to ring that bell next to the subscribe button. So
I'd like to say thanks to yourself, John, and Chris for popping on tonight.
Yeah. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
it was my pleasure. It was my pleasure to take over David's spot.
There you go. Yeah. What do you got coming up, Peaky? You got any videos coming up this week?
So obviously I want to do the Willow TV show trailer, and I want to do
Andor.
Star Wars Andor show trailer. Probably once I get like my mail calls in from like my Halo figures and my Lord Zed helmet and the Lego, probably just do a bit of an unboxing video showing off that. And I've got a couple of Let's Plays. So I've started delving into Let's Plays on my channel.
Yeah.
I started off May. I did Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. That ended, I think, last week. The last part was.
Okay.
Kind of because Kenobi comes out tomorrow, and I thought I'll play, and it's Star Wars month, so I played a Star Wars game. I'm going to be grabbing a Power Rangers PlayStation 2 game that I want to do a Let's Play of, and I'm planning a podcast in the next couple of months.
Oh, cool.
So kind of what Baz does with the live streams, but it won't just be toy talk. It will just be anything.
Whatever.
What is going on in that week kind of thing. And I want to do a Halo game Let's Play series. So I want to play through all the Halo games.
Oh, wow.
As a Let's Play, which will be a really long project because seven games.
Yeah.
At least they're probably going to be at least 20 parts each.
Ooh, wow. Yeah.
I've estimated roughly 20 parts each.
Wow.
So that's going to be it's going to take me a while to record all of those parts.
What about you,
But
Baz? What do you got coming up? Oh, was there more, Peaky? Sorry.
no, I don't
Okay.
think I've got anything else planned. I think in July there will be another, because people seem to really enjoyed my food dehydrator video. Where I dehydrated candy, and that's on 1.3K views.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's my most viewed video. So people must really like
Well,
dehydrated food.
food-related stuff, and if you do something weird like dehydrate it, you'll get more views. Yeah.
Yeah. So because people seem to enjoy it, I'm gonna be doing another one. So
Yeah.
that's going to be in July, because I kind of have to do it when I have 2 days next to each other free, because I
Yep.
do it for 24 hours. So I have a week off work in July, so I'm going to do it in that week off.
Gotcha.
So that's being planned out. I'm trying to think of stuff to throw into the dehydrator.
Just don't throw your cat in there. Don't throw your cat in there.
I mean, I don't have a cat, so it's fine. But yeah, no, I think that's it. I think that's all I've really got planned at the moment. I like when a new film trailer pops out, I look at it and I don't watch it, but I kind of just look at the release and I'm like, do I want that on my channel? Do I not? Like, I don't just do every film.
Yeah, these two are good ones to have if you do those. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't just do every film trailer. Like, it has to be a film that I kind of want to watch myself anyway.
Yep.
And that I'm interested in. So, like, I did the Thor Love and Thunder trailer too when that dropped on Monday morning. I did the Mission Impossible Dark Reckoning Part 1 trailer as well this week. So it's they kind of have to take an interest into me. But yeah, that's about it really.
I've got videos still to do, because when I want to do like the stuff I got a couple of weeks ago for the game, I want to kind of do a video on that. Even though I've showed it on like 3 or 4 live streams, I still like to do like your whole video, what you've picked up for the month. So I've usually last couple of months I've kind of done like a month haul video that this is what I picked up this month. So that's upcoming. Fortunately, there'll be no live stream next week because I have a family thing to go to next week. So the next one will be the following week. I'm not too sure who we've actually got coming on that. I need to double check with Dave.
Yeah.
He's the one that keeps all the details. But what about yourself, Johnny? You got anything coming up?
Yeah, so let's see. I hope to do a video tomorrow on something. I'm just gonna pick something vintage in the collection and do a video, because I haven't actually got a video up lately. It's been a week. We did our Wednesday night with Brandon, and then I had a full week with no videos, and I did Wednesday night with Brandon again. So it was like I was like, oh crap, I didn't do any for a whole week. So I want to get some videos up tomorrow. And then Saturday we're going to go up and spend it with my brother, so I won't do anything Saturday. But then Sunday morning, I've got my Sunday morning vintage live stream. That's 7 a.m. for us on the East Coast, and it's lunchtime for you guys. But I'm going to do Toy Biz Marvel and DC, the first series of Marvel and DC each, and show some of those off. I've got a lot of them carded on original card back, so I want to show that we're going to talk about basically superheroes, the early Toy Biz stuff for superheroes.
Well, like Super
on Sunday morning. But then Sunday afternoon, I'm on Matt's channel, Universal Collector, and I think he's going to have me and Tim from Boss Bounty and a couple other people on. He gave me the list of who's coming on, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But so there's going to be a few of us on talking about action figures from the past. So my part is I'm going to show Yoda, the original Kenner Yodas, and then he wants me to show off some modern ones through the years. So I've got a bunch of different Yodas from like the 90s, the 2000s, modern up to like what just came out, So I'm going to show a bunch of different Yodas and we'll compare and contrast. And then I've also got some bootleg Yoda figures and things to show off. So we wanted to see some unique items as well. And I think each of us are doing a character. So like Boss Bounty Tim will probably show off Bosk from the Kenner, and then some modern ones of Bosk, So we're each going to do a figure and go through different variations through the years. So that's going to be an interesting one on Matt Universal Collector, Sunday afternoon, probably Sunday evening for you guys. And then
I need to give that one a wee watch then. On Sunday,
yeah,
funky watch.
And then let me see what else is going on. Oh, and then I want to do a video sometime this weekend, maybe Monday or so, to start talking about my Christmas in July giveaway stuff. It's becoming a tradition now. Every year in May and June, I take the money that's been generally my channel makes around $500 or $600 a year. All right, it's not. I don't make a lot of money off YouTube. But I take that money that people have donated or I got from the advertising and stuff like that, the Patreon money that people have put in for Patreon. And I usually just, whenever I get that money cashed out, I've been putting it in an envelope. I keep it separate. And then in May or June, I've got by the time May or June comes around, I got $500 or $600 to work with. So what I do is I take that money and I go buy a whole bunch of toys. And then I give them away in July. So every single week in the month of July, I'm going to do a live stream 1 day per week for all 4 weeks. So there'll be 4 of them in July. And on each live stream, I'll give away 3 or 4 bundles of action figures. So far, there's one for Pokemon where it's got a couple of packs of cards, a Pokemon action figure, and like a Funko Pop or something. And I might try to go get a stuffed animal. I've seen these nice, cute, plushy Pikachus that I might grab to put in the pile.
I can see his eyes have just lit up like a Christmas tree.
and then we have a DC one where there's 2 McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. It's a Martian Manhunter and the Batwoman Beyond Unmasked. And then we've got a Marvel Legends one that's the Incredible Hulk that's split in half. It's like half Red Hulk and half Green Hulk. Oh, nice. I don't know if you saw that figure, but
I've seen that
I got that one, and then I have a retro Hulk figure to go with it. So that's the Marvel pack. And then we got let's see what else is there. I want to try to get there's a Lego set of Thor's hammer. It's a big set.
You mean
do you have that one? Yeah. So I was thinking of giving that away as part of the giveaway. I want to see if I can get one. I got to go down to the warehouse and see if there's one available with my Lego employee discount. And if I can get it on my employee discount, then I'll put that in the lot and give it away. Because that's $100 set, I think, retail over here. Yeah. And so that'd be it, if they let me have it for my discount, I'll get it for around $50. So it's cheaper for me to get it, and then it's something that is feasible for me to give away to you guys. So Christmas in July, and I want to start doing videos all through the month of June to sort of hype that up and build it up until July when I start giving the stuff away.
Because I remember watching that last year, and some of the stuff that you gave away, John, was insane.
Yeah,
and there's a Gundam. Way, I'm just gonna throw this out there for whoever is in this chat, and they end up getting the Lego bundle with Thor's hammer, right? The base is a pain in the ass to build. Baz knows this because he was in a video call with me while I was trying to do it. It took me about 2 hours just to do the base, right, Baz?
Wow. Yeah.
The base is a pain. Okay, I'm just forewarning people.
Yeah. Oh, I got a Gundam model kit too. There's a Gundam in there that I'm gonna do. So there's a bunch of stuff, and then for Star Wars and G.I. Joe, I do want to find some vintage stuff. So I'm gonna, because a lot of this stuff is modern. And I was just thinking today, I was like, I want to have a Star Wars bundle and I want to have a G.I. Joe bundle. And I was like, what can I do? And I think I'm going to look up some vehicles. I'm going to go to some local stores and see if I could find a vehicle for Star Wars and a vehicle for G.I. Joe that are vintage that I can add into the pot and give away. Because I always like to have a couple of vintage items. So we'll see what I come up with. But yeah, that's basically the month of June will be here's stuff, and I'm going to show a different thing on every video that we're giving away. And then July will be the actual giveaways. So yeah, a lot planned out. So, but that's what I like to do with the channel, with the money that people give for Patreon and the membership money that comes in through the YouTube membership, and then the advertising money that comes in from having a channel. Because right now, like I said, I only make maybe $500 or $600 a year. So I'm not going to make a living off that. It's not adding any income to me. So I might as well take that money and give it back to the community. Give it, in the way I'm giving it back is by giving you guys toys, So, and it's a fun thing to do, Christmas in July, yeah. So.
Well, man, I mean, just before we go, man, I mind watching that last year, and I mean, some of the bundles that you were giving away, John, it's like I say, so they were insane. Some of the stuff that you had with them, man, it was, to me, they look expensive, but you were just like, oh, this guy's won this guy's done this guy, and I was like, where did it? But it's like what Shabby says. It's a good community we're all in. We all help each other, but we all try and help each other out, especially when if we've had bad news and all that. Because man, I know I've had all the good support with my dad and all this over the last few months, and I can't grumble, man. Same with you guys. You have helped me get through rough times, and we help each other. Like yourself, you were going through a rough time with your brother.
Yeah.
And hopefully now that...
Oh, and we still are. I mean, like his next scan is at the end of, it's the week of June 20th. And we that has to be good news. We're hoping that this next scan he gets, the cancer's retreating, because if it's not retreating, I don't know what he's not going to last, so we have to get good news in June. So
everybody in the chat,
everyone's got to
pray that Tunnel Rat from and pulls through this. We need him.
Yeah,
he's a part, as I say to Chris, is that we're in the Discord, and we treat us like family.
Yeah,
that's right.
The saying is that Fast and the Furious, I don't have friends, I have family. I treat Chris more like a brother than probably a friend kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people in this community that we've built throughout the COVID thing or the pandemic, whatever you want to say, whatever we're allowed to say. I think but we really have become family. We're more than friends because, like Dave Dimension just had that run for cancer, and we all came over there and helped donate money and get him. I mean, his goal was around $800, and we ended up raising $1,300 for him. So
it's a bit like when Baz was in hospital. Was it last year, Baz?
It was.
Yeah.
So in this Discord that we're in, Baz was in hospital, and I thought, Baz has had a bit of a tough time. I pulled together a load of people from the Discord, and I was like, look, gonna get Baz a card and a gift from all of us. Just to brighten his, just to give him a boost. I was like, if anybody wants to write a message for the card, message me it, and I'll write it into the card. Yeah. So I get a card, and I got you the Killing Joker, didn't I?
Wow,
Baz.
yeah.
Louis, because I know Baz likes his Joker and Harley Quinn's, and I saw this Joker, and I was like, I don't think he has that. So I grabbed it, and what was it, Baz? When you came on the voice chat to open your gift, you were almost in tears, weren't you?
I was, especially after reading the card.
Yeah.
I apologise for my poor handwriting for that card, by the way. But yeah, I got. I think there was about 10 of us, and a couple of people sent money over to help cover the gift, and I was like, I just wanted a message. I was happy buying the the figure myself, but like, a couple of people sent over some money for the figure, and like it just all kind of like came together just to give Baz a pick me up kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes that's all you need, You're like just a little thought, and it goes a long way. So yeah.
On that note, I think we'll end this because
we've been going a long time. We'll ramble on forever. Yeah. All right.
Just in case if you've got stuff to do, John, because I know it's still early on your side.
Yeah, we're doing dinner after this, so I got to make dinner now. So.
But as I say,
I'm gonna go to bed.
It's a little after. It's 6:15 over here. So.
It's 11:20, It's bedtime.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, Chris, and thanks for coming on again, John, and thanks for all the support in the chat. I appreciate it.
Yep, anytime.
Happy to be here.
Until then, catch you all later.
See you.